Honorable members, let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with abundant favor the blessings as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call the leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. So, welcome, honorable members, for today's session. I'll request the clerk to read the business in the order paper.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I have communication to make this morning. I would like to acknowledge the presence of in the public gallery this morning, visiting pupils and teachers of Kericho Claudia's Destiny from Kagugerwet Ward. In our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to the assembly, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the assembly, I wish them a fruitful visit. Honorable members, I would like to give to one member of the Education Committee to welcome the students, and leader majority to welcome the pupils from Kericho Claudia's Destiny Academy. Leader majority, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity you've given me to welcome students that are today visiting the County Assembly of Kericho. Maybe for the information, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that this is the County Assembly of Kericho, where we do legislations touching on county government, and this is a complete replica of the National Assembly. The only difference is that they are doing legislations that concerns the national government and the whole country. But for this case, we are doing legislations concerning the county governments. But the structure, the way we conduct business, the way we do things is exactly the same to the National Assembly or even the Senate. So feel welcome, be ready to learn, and I know this one will touch you in one way or another, so that one day, one time, you will be in this honorable house or the other houses or the other assemblies, that is in the Senate or the National Assembly. To that effect, Mr. Speaker, I say thank you, and may God bless the students together with their teachers. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'll give it to Honorable Irene, Member of Education Committee, to also welcome the students from, this is Kericho Claudia's Academy, Claudia's Destiny from Kagugerwet Ward, and they are the class 8 and grade 6 who are in the public gallery. Welcome.
So thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for this chance. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our learners and teachers from Claudia's Destiny Primary School. Feel most welcomed. This is a house of rules and procedures, and I think you are very much privileged to be here today. Feel at home. After the session, we will take you through what entails this assembly. So, in life, we need to be optimistic. So, for you pupils, I wish you all the best. Education is a social equalizer, and one day, one time, you will also be sitting here or in our national assemblies or the Senate and or others will be governors of this county and other fields. Some wants to be doctors, some wants to be teachers. So we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Considerable Matthew Korir, the last person I'll give a chance before we go on. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity as well to extend a warm welcome to our students from the Said School, from Chebor, Kapkogerwet Ward. Mr. Speaker, it is very important for the students to learn that this is the county assembly here with three roles. One is that oversight and representation. We are here to represent you because in Kapkogerwet we have a number of voters, but in that the constitution allows the constituents to vote only one person to be here so that they can represent the people of Kapkogerwet and the other wards. So, Mr. Speaker, I want only to encourage the students and the teachers also from the Said School that take your time while you are here to understand the procedures, to understand the difference between the national and the county assembly, and also other things that pertain. Being a historian, I know that you have managed to learn in social studies the form of governments, whereby we have the national government and the county government. Yeah, but my parting shot, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that I want to encourage the students from the Said School that as you prepare for your KCPE exam and those who want to join the junior secondary, we wish you all the best. And we wish that God in heaven will give you good health during the exam season. One is that I have a quote that education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who are prepared. So for you students, I know that you are very much prepared to sit for those exams. And for teachers, we want to thank you for taking this time and bring them here to learn what we normally do when we come to county assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for such an opportunity. As the Vice Chairman Education, I want to say thank you, and we will have time with you to share what we are doing in the county assembly. Maybe after this session. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much. I will give, clerk read the next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, we have statements that we'd like to get progress reports from. Honorable Hezron, Chair Lance, Honorable Matthew Korir, Majority Leader, and Vincent Gorir will give their status of progress report of the statements. So I'll give to Honorable Hezron Ngetich, the Chair Lance, to give us the progress report of the statement that had been raised. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for the opportunity you have granted me, Mr. Speaker, so that I can give preliminary report, statement reports on behalf of the chair committee of this county assembly. Before, Mr. Speaker, allow me to join my colleagues and you, Mr. Speaker, in welcoming the pupils and students from
the school is Kericho Glorious Destiny.
Kericho Glorious Destiny. To this honorable house, we want to tell them you are most welcome because they are hailing from this ward. And remember, Mr. Speaker, this assembly presence sits in Kapkogerwet ward. they are at home. So feel at home. This is a replica of the National Assembly, both the Senate and the National Assembly, whereby we legislate, and mostly as we do three major functions: legislation, oversight, and representation on behalf of the county government. So we feel most welcome, and I know you will draw your inspiration from your visit. So, Mr. Speaker, on 20th September, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Philip Mutai, a member representing Kipchimchim Ward, Mr. Speaker, sought a statement to come on Committee on Lands to know the number of cooperative societies plots in the entire county, Mr. Speaker. So when we received the statement, Mr. Speaker, we sat as a committee and discussed, and we wrote to the department, the executive, to give us response before we go and deliberate, Mr. Speaker. Although they delayed, but we have gotten some progressive report, Mr. Speaker. So we just received the report, Mr. Speaker. Also, we are going to sit as a committee and then do a site visit to ascertain the accurate status now on those posts, Mr. Speaker. But so far, Mr. Speaker, the entire Kericho County, Mr. Speaker, according to the records available in the Department of Lands, Housing and Physical Planning, there are three number of county plots marked for cooperative societies. These are, number one, Mr. Speaker, we have Sociot Farmers Cooperative Society, Mr. Speaker. That is a land which was allocated by different local authorities in the late days, Mr. Speaker. They allocated this land purposely for cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker. The above parcel of land is located in Sociot Market in Waldai Ward. It is within Sociot Market, and it is registered as plot number 2. Its size is 0.045 hectares, Mr. Speaker. So that is one of the three plots which were earmarked for cooperative societies, and it is in Waldai. And Mr. Speaker, will come and give comprehensive status and full report after us visiting the site. But preliminary, that is one of the plots. The second plot, Mr. Speaker, which was earmarked and allocated to cooperative societies, is Cheblanget Farmers Cooperative Society, Mr. Speaker. This is a cooperative society land. The above parcel is located in Cheblanget Market Center, Mr. Speaker. Cheblanget Market Center is in Pureti Sub-County, Mr. Speaker, Cheblanget Ward. So there, Mr. Speaker, there is a market, within the market, there is a cooperative land which was allocated by different local authority purposely for the cooperative society. The registered, the said plot, Mr. Speaker, was registered as plot number CLT/21. Its size is 0.0465 hectares, Mr. Speaker. That is the second plot out of the three, which is located in Cheblanget, Pureti Sub-County, and it was allocated purposely for cooperative societies. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, is Somonyet Farmers Cooperative Society land, Mr. Speaker. The above parcel of land is located in Kapkugerwet Trading Center, registered as plot number 15. Its size is 0.0465 hectares, Mr. Speaker. That is another, the third plot which was allocated for cooperative societies, and it is found in Ainamo Sub-County, Kapkugerwet Ward, Kapkugerwet Market, Mr. Speaker. When you see critically, or when you analyze the three plots, Mr. Speaker, you will ascertain that the different local authorities, Mr. Speaker, council, allocated almost equal and equal size of cooperative lands, Mr. Speaker, because for Sociot it is 0.045, for Cheblanget is 0.0465, for Kapkugerwet it is 0.0465. So it generally they allocated equal size of parcel of lands for cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker. So we will visit and give us, and we will update you with full status, packed with pictorial evidence, Mr. Speaker, and the general status and the occupancy, if you will allow us, Mr. Speaker, as you had ruled, that you will give us, you had allocated us 14 more days, and I think we will respond. All the plots mentioned above were set aside by DFAC local authorities and are currently operational and not available for allocation. So most, according to the report, Mr. Speaker, from the CC, is that the lands are occupied and they are in operation. So we will give comprehensive reports once we visit, Mr. Speaker. That was the preliminary report on the statement sought by Honorable Philip Mutai on the cooperative plots available in the entire county. Mr. Speaker, on the same breath, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Matthew, representing the great people of Chaikwad, Mr. Speaker, so the statement again, Mr. Speaker, on the operationalization of Kericho and Litein Municipal Board, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Matthew sought to know the number of employees which are serving in Kericho and Litein Municipal Boards. Mr. Speaker, remember Kericho Municipal Board is the of all municipalities within the Kericho County, Mr. Speaker, and as a preliminary report, Mr. Speaker, I'll write that Kericho Municipal Board currently has total number of 8 staffs which are serving in the municipal, Mr. Speaker. One is being the manager, which was employed through competitive process, but is serving on a contract basis, Mr. Speaker. The rest of the 7 staffs, Mr. Speaker, are employees of which were employed currently by the department, but they have been deployed to take charge in the municipal. Fiscal planner, number 1 is manager, which I have enumerated. Second, fiscal planner. Third is affair. Fourth is building superintendent. The 5th is accountant. 6th is supply chain management officer. The 7th, administrative officer. And the 8th is environmental officer, making a total of 8, Mr. Speaker. On our comprehensive full report, Mr. Speaker, we will give the details after the number and the IPPD numbers of these people, because we will give to the details, Mr. Speaker, because these are just a preliminary report which we were sent, but on our full reports we will detail. Litein Municipal Board, Mr. Speaker, is the second municipality within Kericho County, Mr. Speaker, and this is Litein Municipal Aids for Purete Sub-County, Mr. Speaker, which has a total of 6 municipal staff. 1 being the manager, 2nd being physical planner, 3rd the surveyor, 4th building superintendent, 5th is the accountant, and the 6th is the supply chain officer, Mr. Speaker. It's important to know that the staffs and unlisted staff are deployed, and only the Kericho manager is employed on contract basis, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know that during last time, Mr. Speaker, there was an advert for the vacant of Kericho. This I think last this year, Mr. Speaker, there was an advert which is on or running now for the position of Litein manager. So, Mr. Speaker, that is on the number of staff. But the second statement raised by Matthew was what was the plans the Department of Land, Physical Planning, Housing and Settlement put in place to ensure autonomy and financial sustainability of the municipal boards, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chair, do you wish to be informed?
Maybe.
All right. Honorable Matthew Korir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to inform the Chair, Lands, to correctly confirm if that the statement is reading is from Honorable Kipkuri Matthew, representing great people of Chaikwad, because I have never doubted any autonomy of the municipality, Mr. Speaker.
Chair Lance, please clarify on the statements you're giving.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was a slip of the tongue. It was a statement sought by Honorable Matt Kay. In fact, we had almost 6 statements. There was a statement which was sought by Honorable Matthew on the issue to do with Kasim Tan. So I think I a bit confused, but that was a statement. Thanks for information and correction. But it is good for the consumption of the House, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, he was asking what was the Department of Land, Physical Planning and Housing and Settlement put in place to ensure autonomy and financial sustainability of the municipal board. 1, increase staff deployed to the municipals. The department has so far deployed staffs in process of employing 2 extra staff, namely the registered engineer and registered land use planner to assist municipalities in execution of municipal plan and policies to avoid depending much on other departments, Mr. Speaker. That is one of the ways in which the department or the municipality, the department has done so that we have self-independence of the municipalities. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, is enhancement of the budget to the boards, Mr. Speaker. There has been a progressive improvement of budget allocation from each financial year, Mr. Speaker. However, the 2 boards are still in need of more funds to enable to implement their projects, Mr. Speaker. Since the inception of this municipal board, Mr. Speaker, when you see their budget, there has been a progressive increase in allocation of the budget towards those departments, Mr. Speaker. But it is very important to note, Mr. Speaker, that the municipalities are not operating to its full capacity, Mr. Speaker, because we still have budget constraints, Mr. Speaker. There is some of the functions which are supposed to be handled by this department, by these municipalities, Mr. Speaker, like garbage collection, Mr. Speaker, and revenue collection, Mr. Speaker. But these municipalities have no capacity to do those such function because of the mega budget being allocated. Number 3 is the transfer of function. The Department of Land, Housing and Physical Plan has been in forefront in looking for full transfer of functions to the municipalities. For instance, recently the Department of Water wrote a memo requesting Kericho Municipal Board to take over the function of garbage collection within the municipality. The Municipal Board of Kericho will therefore start collecting garbage from 1st December 2023, Mr. Speaker. So those are some of the ways in which we are trying to see as a department to see that the municipal boards work autonomously, Mr. Speaker. And there's been a good relationship, and there is a good sign that soon they will start operating fully, because now if we allocate budget, we deploy staffs, and we devolve the functions, or we give them functions, I think they will operate optimally, Mr. Speaker. The third question was, what plans has the municipal boards done in ensuring that the town's plans are adhered to, Mr. Speaker? 1, development control. Mr. Speaker, now protect me from the chairman lands, Mr. Speaker, chairman education,
Order
the
members.
majority, Mr. Speaker.
Chair Education, and your please consult in letters.
So 1, development control. Through the development control mechanism, the staff of municipal boards have been going around to check the illegal structures which have been constructed without following the process. This has been complemented by National Construction Authority (NCA). Developers who have been found in breach of the development procedures are issued with enforcement notice requiring them to stop the construction. So those are the one of the plans to ensure that the town plans are adhered to. Number P is formation of urban planning, transport and infrastructure committee. The board subcommittees is mandated to look into the urban development and provision of service within the municipalities. Mr. Speaker, we'll give full details over the same, but those are the measures which the municipal board has put in place to ensure that town plans are adhered. The fourth and the last is what measures has the county government put in place in ensuring the municipal boards operate optimally. One is induction. To enable boards understand their roles, meet the expectation and improve their performance, Mr. Speaker. This is one way, Mr. Speaker, and I can confirm, Mr. Speaker, that the Committee of Lands has joined the municipal board in induction, Mr. Speaker. There was an induction which was done at Siala Resort, and as committee we joined them during the induction, and there was again an induction through the COG which was done at Nakuru. And those are the ways in which we are building capacity, we are capacity building the municipal boards so that they can operate optimally. Number B is capacity building training to enable the board share notes on the development of urban areas. C, increase deployment of staff to reduce staff cap in the two municipalities. And D, the final, is to enhance municipal's budget to enable them run effectively and efficiently. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is the preliminary reports on two statements. We will give full report over the same, plus other statement which was sought, because we are almost at the tail end of responding to those reports. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chair Lance. You have given your status report for the statements which had been raised, and I think I want to make a ruling that all status report for progress reports for statement raised should also be shared to members so that they are well abreast on what the committee has done. I have seen rebel members trying to figure out what your report is all about. So it is directed that going forward, any progress reports will be shared with members so that members can be able to follow online or even through the hard copies for them to understand the progress reports, and perhaps even also to be able to give you more input as you bring your full report when it's due. So I think that is the status report. Is there any other member who has a status report? Chair Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me the opportunity, and by extension, the people in Amoi, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to welcome the pupils, teachers, and maybe parents of a school from Kapkugerwet. Of course, Mr. Speaker, is the Chair Education. I want to encourage them that they should always be coming to learn with us, Mr. Speaker, because there is no difference between the county assemblies and the National Assembly. Maybe the only difference is the area of jurisdiction, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, the roles of a member of parliament is the same as the roles of members of the county assembly. You are welcome today, tomorrow, and any other day. The county assembly is pleased to always welcome pupils, students, parents, and teachers from across the country. So we are very happy when we see some of the schools from our county coming to learn with us here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, secondly, Mr. Speaker, I just want to request the honorable members that we had a program with the Department on Education concerning the training of 100 youth from every ward. Mr. Speaker, I just want to remind them that the clerk of our department, the clerk of our committee, Mr. Speaker, has a list of the students that they have already applied for those trainings, Mr. Speaker. And I just want to request the honorable members, especially the elected, to go and look at that list. If you've not forwarded your list to the department of Education, you just pick from that list, Mr. Speaker. Remember, we've delayed, Mr. Speaker, and you know, we had a lot of rough time when we were trying to get these resources, Mr. Speaker, when we are doing budgeting, Mr. Speaker. Now that we have the money lying idle in the account, Mr. Speaker, and we have our youths, they have not gone to training, Mr. Speaker. So I just want to kindly request the honorable members that they hand over their list, Mr. Speaker, latest on Friday, Mr. Speaker. In fact, the governor is almost losing patience, Mr. Speaker, because that is a program that will have assisted the 3,000 youths from this county. So I can request the honorable members that please you take that role very seriously, because it will have a ripple effect on our people, Mr. Speaker. So let's forward that list to the department before the end of this week, Mr. Speaker, before Friday. Let the department have the list. The training will begin next week. The training will begin next week. But I'm happy because already 5 members of the county assembly have already handed over their list to the department. So that is progress. Second, Mr. Speaker, I want to take the opportunity to also welcome the members on Friday, Mr. Speaker, at Moi Gardens. His Excellency the Governor, of course, and the CEC in charge of education, and of course myself, Mr. Speaker, leading the delegation from this other end, Mr. Speaker, are going to be giving letters to our teachers who have served from 2013, Mr. Speaker, on contract basis. So it is a milestone on the county government of Kericho, because the governor will be issuing letters to almost 1,136 ECD teachers, Mr. Speaker, on permanent and pensionable terms, Mr. Speaker. In fact, that, Mr. Speaker, needs even the honorable members to applaud that move, Mr. Speaker, because it is taking place when you did appropriate the funds and you are the members of the various county assembly. That is a milestone. When history of these teachers will be written, Mr. Speaker, I know the 3rd county assembly, Mr. Speaker, will have a chapter in that history, Mr. Speaker. Personally, as a chair, Mr. Speaker, maybe I will have 1 or 2 chapters, Mr. Speaker, but the entire county assembly will have a chapter when the history of those teachers will be written, Mr. Speaker. So there are going to be a very big ceremony there, Mr. Speaker, and I want to sincerely thank the members of the county assembly for supporting the initiative for giving these teachers letters on permanent and pensionable. Mr. Speaker, finally, Mr. Speaker, is concerning the replacement, Mr. Speaker. Once they are done on Friday with giving them letters, they will now begin replacing teachers that had gone on either retire, Mr. Speaker. Some of them went to be with the Lord, Mr. Speaker, with the Satan, depending on how they behave while they were on this earth, Mr. Speaker. That is through natural attrition. Others, Mr. Speaker, deserted service. Others, Mr. Speaker, you know, moved to greener pastures, Mr. Speaker. So they are going to do replacement by next week, Mr. Speaker. But we will be liaising with every member. Mr. Speaker, there are some MCAs, you remember there was a time we called the department to appear before us, Mr. Speaker. In fact, they appeared before the committee of the whole. And maybe some few MCAs were not there. So if you have issues, if there's a school that was not captured and you know that the school had maybe a vacancy, you just call the director, the acting director for education, and he will fix that school, Mr. Speaker, in the list, so that once we do the replacement, we are going to replace all those schools that had vacancies, Mr. Speaker. Then after finalizing with that, Mr. Speaker, we now have the 210 for recruitment, Mr. Speaker. So that is the 3rd, Mr. Speaker. And you remember, we are yet to agree on how those positions, Mr. Speaker, will be, you know, will be given out to various wards. But I want to assure the honorable members that we are going to agree. In fact, we will even disagree to agree. But by the end of the day, we will have a very good formula where each and every ward will get their rightful share in those 210 positions, because these are the honorable members also who approved the budgetary allocation for employment of the new 210. So by the end of that exercise, Mr. Speaker, I know every MCA will be very happy, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, is that the department is also requesting the honorable members, especially those who are elected, to make sure that you forward the names of the schools and the names of the schools and the toilets that needs to be constructed this financial year. Going by the list that I saw, Mr. Speaker, is only 19 members of the County Assembly that has already forwarded their list. So we are still remaining with another 11. So I want to ask those ones that you make sure that you comply, because we need development. Mr. Speaker, we are already into a new financial year, and around July, August, September, Mr. Speaker, is gone. So the first quarter of this financial year, Mr. Speaker, is gone. We need to move with speed so that we utilize the funds before the end of this financial year, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, and of course, on behalf of the Committee on Education, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair Education. Before John, I've seen we have the member of the County Assembly for Kapuguru Ward, and we have this morning we've had pupils from Kericho Claudia's Destiny. So I'll give you a single opportunity to welcome the pupils from your ward, and then I'll give to Honorable Vincent. Then we'll end from there. Welcome, Honorable Martin Cheriot.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome students from Kericho Destiny Academy. Pupils and teachers, most welcome. This is a County Assembly of the honorable members. This assembly is like the National Assembly, where members do representation, oversight, and legislation. You have a lot to learn from here. And I want to say that you are most welcome, not today only, and even in the future. So as you continue learning, I wish you the best. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much. I saw a hand from Honorable Vincent Correa. I'll give you just a minute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. And let me take this opportunity also to welcome the students from Destiny Primary School. And I want to tell them that their future is bright. And maybe in future, some of them also will be leaders, just like us. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to give out a report about as chair of PAC. And this committee is a very important committee in this house, because you see our role as members is to be oversight. That's one of our main roles that is given to us by the Constitution. And as chair of PAC, my wish is to have this committee to be a very active committee that will be able to be an eye to the people of Kericho County. And Mr. Speaker, yesterday when the Liaison Committee was presenting the report, it was indicated that as PAC, we still have 35 reports that we are supposed to look at. And you see that some of the reports are emanating from the Second Assembly, some of the financial years, like from 2019, 2020, and these reports are very important, especially to us and to the people of Kericho County, because we are supposed to see all the financial reports and how money is being spent in this county, whether it is being spent correctly, rightfully, and prudently, as it is supposed to be. Again, this is the committee that makes serious recommendations to the institutions that are supposed to be performing some roles, like even the ESCC, DCI, and the rest. If at all we find that there are irregular issues that are happening within the county, either at executive level or even here within the assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have had some challenges as PAC. And I would like to make some of the recommendations that will help us to move forward and even to have this committee to be even better and even stronger. You see, one of the challenge, like yesterday we had a discussion as members on the quorum and even attendance of the members. in some of the committees and even here in the House. And I think even today, from that discussion, I could see on my side, I think the quorum is very good in this House today. I will also be happy as a chair PAC if I can be able to see all the 9 members in a sitting, so that we are able to deliberate on these reports. Mr. Speaker, sir, some of these reports actually requires a lot of time. It requires details, and sometimes we don't have to leave some stones unturned in this report or for some of these reports, because they are very important reports that are actually done by Auditor General every year. So I as chair, I'm worried because if we are going at that rate, then we might not be able to do the oversight role that we are supposed to do as a House. One, I have some proposal, because you see, as PAC, one report sometimes requires more time, maybe 2 or 3 days, to actually look at a report in detail.
There's a point of order by Chair Education. You give the microphone.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to draw your attention, because we've always said, Mr. Speaker, that the standing orders requires that when you are coming to this county assembly, Mr. Speaker, you should be well dressed, Mr. Speaker. So I don't know whether my eyes are not seeing well, Mr. Speaker, because going by what the Honorable Matt Kerr, the trouser, Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, when we say some of these things, Mr. Speaker, you know, sometimes our sergeants also, their eyes somehow are corrupted, Mr. Speaker, because someone is wearing a trouser that borders on jeans, Mr. Speaker. And you know, sometimes when you send some of these people to go and look at some of these things, Mr. Speaker, you know, they are also human beings. So when they go there, they are being told, Mr. Speaker, just wait, I will see you behind the tent, Mr. Speaker. So I just want you to confirm whether what the Honorable Matt Kerr is wearing, Mr. Speaker, befits the status of this county assembly, Mr. Speaker. So just want you to come personally, Mr. Speaker, take time, Mr. Speaker, because it is part of exercise, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Chair Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. You're out of order to direct the chair to confirm. Of course, this is a House of Rules and Procedures, and the Sergeant at Arms is very much available to confirm. And since you're also on a point of order, I will ask the Sergeant at Arms to confirm if the member in question is properly dressed. Everybody are out of order. Hold on, Honorable Anthony Ruta. I'll give you a chance, please. Please, yes.
Honorable Speaker, sir, in addition to that, I wish again, Honorable Speaker, sir, when the searching at arm is confirming whether Honorable Matt Kerr is well dressed, the same should apply to the majority leader in this House.
Members, I think we will allow the Sergeant at Arms to confirm, but remember, we are a House of Rules and Procedures. So unless I get a report from Sergeant at Arms that is the case, he will move around to check, and I'll get a report in the next few minutes. In the meantime, Honorable Paul Chichir, what is your point? As I wait for the feedback from the Sergeant at Arms, if their members mentioned are properly dressed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Yesterday we held a meeting, Mr. Speaker, sir, and we said from today we will take
business in the assembly very seriously. The Honorable Majority Leader should lead by example. He needs to be properly dressed. The Honorable Majority Leader, the Honorable Peter Kemoy, the Honorable Metkel, they are not properly dressed, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I urge you, Mr. Speaker, that to crack the whip so that this House takes their matters very, very seriously, Mr. Speaker, sir. This idea where members get to the assembly and borrow neckties from staff or open drawers around the assembly looking for a tie just to be compliant with the Speaker, we should stop. Members must be properly dressed, wear a suit like this one where, Mr. Speaker, sir, it was, my suit was done by Mr. Integeja, Mr. Speaker, sir. So I also promote the locals. So Mr. Speaker, sir, I had this House to take their matters very, very, very seriously.
Thank you so much. I can see the bell. I'll give to Honorable Vincent. Who is that behind? That is Honorable Moses. All right. Moses Rotich.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Other members, Honorable Moses Rotich is on the.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for protecting me. Maybe before the exercise that has been raised by our senior ranking member regarding the dressing code for this county assembly is on, Mr. Speaker, I have something to say regarding that matter, Mr. Speaker. We have a prescription for that matter for the dressing code in this county assembly, Mr. Speaker. But before this is acted upon and implemented, Mr. Speaker, we would urge also SRC to have a wardrobe allowance, Mr. Speaker, so that this matter is implemented to the latter. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, members. I'll make a ruling shortly. So, Honorable Hezron, so that I make a ruling on this matter of dressing, I have got a report from Sergeant at Arms, so that we end this matter once and for all, so that we can proceed to the next matter. Hezron?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before you rule on the same, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to add the list of people who are not properly dressed, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Chief Whip, Mr. Speaker, and Honorable Martin, Mr. Speaker. Those people have come here with khaki jeans, Mr. Speaker. These are not proper dressing code, Mr. Speaker. I was to add Honorable Naela, but she had added applause on Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want you to rule on this same, Mr. Speaker, because soon we will come with other clothes which are not befitting, Mr. Speaker. It's not even about the blazer. There is a blazer which befits to be brought in this house. A blazer, a suit, not just a blazer, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Matkey, Honorable Martin, Honorable Peter Kemoy, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Chibu, who should be leading by example, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you should rule on the same and give direction going forward, Mr. Speaker, so that even Honorable Moses Roti, Mr. Speaker, is in a khaki jeans, Mr. Speaker. So, and former Chibu, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, can you rule on the same? Thank you.
Thank you. Order members, order members, order members. It is the discretion of the chair to give to a member to speak. Honorable Chair Education, you had spoken before. So I will want to make a ruling, but before then, Sergeant Adams, please come here. So, Honorable Chair Education, please make your last submission in this matter.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, members. Order.
Maybe one final thing, Mr. Speaker, because as you put this issue to rest, Mr. Speaker, as I initially said, Mr. Speaker, you know, we need to come here, Mr. Speaker, with suit, Mr. Speaker. Number two, Mr. Speaker, if you want to wear a broken suit, Mr. Speaker, we do not allow the khaki suit, the khaki trousers, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to the Honorable Vice Chair for Education, although he's going on, Mr. Speaker, but when you look at that trouser, that is a trouser, Mr. Speaker, that is made out of the material, Mr. Speaker. So there is a difference between a broken suit with that trouser made out of a material, Mr. Speaker, and a khaki, Mr. Speaker. A khaki, that's like this one, Mr. Speaker, you know. This one is another khaki, Mr. Speaker. So as you make your Solomonic, Mr. Speaker, the victims are, you know, Mr. Speaker, as you make that Solomonic rule, Mr. Speaker, remember the public is watching at us, Mr. Speaker. What does it cost you, Mr. Speaker, to be well dressed like me, Mr. Speaker? What does it cost you, Mr. Speaker, to also make sure, Mr. Speaker, that you polish your shoes when you are coming to this county assembly, Mr. Speaker? Because sometimes you see an honorable member, Mr. Speaker, coming here, the shoes is muddy, Mr. Speaker. It is torn and it is muddy, Mr. Speaker. What kind of leadership do you show to your people, Mr. Speaker? So the shoes must also, even if you are coming from reserve, Mr. Speaker, we know most of us, they are coming from reserve, but already, Mr. Speaker, we have, shoe shiners around the county assembly. We need to be well dressed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, also, we also need to divine the code of dressing to our honorable ladies, Mr. Speaker. The honorable ladies. We also need to, so that, because some of them, Mr. Speaker, they are pumping us, Mr. Speaker, when they are here, Mr. Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, I do not want to go and name names here, Mr. Speaker, but you can see from where you sit, Mr. Speaker. You know, when the almost half of the top side of, you know, Mr. Speaker, is protruding, Mr. Speaker, you know the Honorable Chief Whip, you can see what he is doing, Mr. Speaker, while I am making a very important point, Mr. Speaker. So you make that rule, Mr. Speaker, and you include even the ladies, so that we do not come to that issue again. Thank you.
So thank you, honorable members. Having listened to submissions, I've also gotten report from Sergeant at Arms on the mentioned members, and also have a look at the Speaker's rules and the standing order. And of course, this is a house that is a honorable house that is governed by rules and procedures. This is a very important question that has been put before the chair this morning. And having looked at the old consideration, the ruling is as follows. One is that the members who had been mentioned, Sergeant Andrew was able to confirm that there's a clearing omission from those honorable members, but not adhering to the full required uniform. And in that matter, it is directed that you are out of order. So please, members, order members, I want to put this matter to rest right now. So based on that, I will not subject the member to ridicule or to be sent out, but I'm giving a stern warning that this is the last time that you will get away with a dress code that is not proper. And also, we shall also have a proper communication from the Speaker's office on the proper dress code for both members, for both gender, so that you are well guided. So that will be given out and will be communicated in the next sitting on the proper dress code for honorable members, so that you are well guided. So that next time an issue has been raised, the Sergeant at Arms will have a reference point on how to identify, and there shall be no excuse on whether you will have to sit around, because there will be a proper dress code. So all honorable members, please stand advised that the dress code must be adhered at all times. So that is the ruling, and I urge all of us to come to the assembly when we are properly dressed, so that we are able to transact business without making a new ruling. So honorable members, having said that, and there being no other business, this assembly stands adjourned until today in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.